who will lead this nation in future to ensure that these buildings and other structures that are meant for education brought and then put up to this school, it will help teaching and learning.
Be fair to us! Be fair to us!
The children of Nanori are not asking for much, just the right to learn in safety, in dignity, and in peace. Emmanuel Jivenu, Joy News, East Mamprusi Municipality, Northeast Region.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
And that's the pathetic situation
at
Nanori. Now, these children with dreams, with aspirations, unfortunately, many of them don't even know where they would go next. Because for 13 years, a school building funded by the GET Fund, is uncompleted. Where did they go wrong? And you see, when I hear the director ask, are we not Ghanaians? Are the children not Ghanaians? Of course they are Ghanaians, except that we are neglecting them, pretending everything is okay. Anyway, Citizen Ato just joined us, looking like a chief, like a Nigerian chief.
I take the compliment. We gas trace our roots to Ile-Ife in Nigeria.
Yes.
Anyway, guys, as I was going on television on Joy Prime, I was listening to the analysis, and Kojo was spot on when he talked about the structure that we currently have. I personally know the deputy minister. She's very solid, and I hope that, just like he said, she would bring a lot in terms of the technical acumen to the table. Now, I have witnessed the levels of deprivation in the sector in northern Ghana. I've seen it at close range, and I felt it thick on my skin. And that's the reason why I thought it was important to also join the conversation. You made mention of the usage of technology and how we have to adapt, to technology based on, geography, weather patterns, and all of that. And I believe that is also perfect. Now, what I want us to also do is to move the conversation forward a bit and start talking about the times beyond construction, inspection, supervision, and how effective our supervision is. By regular administrative procedure, we see various SOEs with, depending on which SOE it is, they'll have different names for the end of the process, which is somebody goes to bid for a contract, they perform the contract, and after that, there is a document that is called end of contract document or delivery document or end of work, something that certifies that you have done the job and it's been handed over, or you've handed over the job. What kind of structure were we using to supervise the various projects under the GET Fund, and for that matter every other government project? And I believe that the new boss of SIGA has to take this up and be very, very firm, so that if everybody knows that these are the standards that have been set, and there are by law certain punitive measures that are very how would I put it, that are drastic, they will put everybody on their toes. Because it just doesn't make sense that a project was started 13 years ago and nobody is asking anybody any question. Nobody is paying the price for the negligence. And just by intuition, the head decided to move the children away. Otherwise, we would have been marking yet another national disaster with some innocent children. So for me, the conversation also should be about supervision. Who has been tasked to supervise? And what standards are we putting these contractors to? Because it's government money, it's taxpayers' money. And at every single point, we must be held accountable for how we're using the money. we must have standards, and these standards must be set by the technical bureaus in charge of all of these. When you go to the road sector, it's the Roads and Highways Ministry. There are various engineers who are put in charge of these projects, and they supervise stage by stage. And so it is important that we hold some of these contractors, and we punish if they go into these contracts and they do not deliver. It is a standard practice in law.
Yeah. Great. Thank you very much, Nathaniel. But we'll continue talking about
Nathaniel says, who is watching, who is following up? We are watching and we'll follow up. And Nathaniel, we are bringing you in this. Let's work together and see how we can get that school completed in
Nanori. You're wearing a smock, so we won't forgive you if you are not able to pronounce properly.
I've been struggling with R and L because of fluoride.
Pro-fluoride.
Yes.
Pro-fluoride. We should have a competition. We should have a competition and have people pronounce that whole term.
Yes. So we'll follow up on that.
Yeah.
And we'll also follow up with the District Assembly, Education Ministry, and GET Fund, because there are some questions to be asked. Was all the funding made available, for example, to whoever was in charge as a contractor?
Very valid
to build
point.
This? What type of contract was it? What type of contract was it? We need to find out, and we need to push and get better for people across the country. This is happening in
Nanori, yeah.
Right? But I can tell you that if you drive 1 hour from Jubilee House in all the directions, let's say 2 hours from Jubilee House in all the directions, east, west, north, except south, because if you go south, you are going to the sea, you are likely to find structures like this. There may be schools, there may be hospitals, markets, public toilets, which have been left abandoned with a lot of money sunk in, but not functional. And we need to push that all these things are done, handled right, to bring us the value we are looking for as a people.
Great, you're very right, and we'll follow up on this. But coming up shortly, we'll talk about coffee.
Yes.
Coffee right here in Leklibi. Brewed in Leklibi.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting, the other day we were having a conversation about cocoa board and the craze about cocoa. But by law, Cocoa Board has a mandate over cocoa, coffee, and shea butter. For some weird reason, everybody's attention is on, and it'll be interesting to, get into this particular product, how it's being processed and how it's being made available on the market, and how competitive that particular brand can be if you're placing it, putting it available even in West Africa, in West Africa.
I can tell you for a fact that I've had interactions with Doc of Choc, one of the leading researchers in the chocolate industry in the world, and she says Ghana's cocoa, best flavor, best taste, best everything, and the same applies to our coffee.
Wow, amazing.
Yes, and we'll be talking to Emmy Beth Aku Kwansin, who is producing a coffee packaging in a brand called Kawamoka. Yes.
Amazing.
When you step out, try some.
I've already tried it. We.
On that note, let me introduce. Stay with us, Nathaniel. But let me introduce you to Uncle Ebu White's 60th original play, and it's titled "The X Factor." The X Factor. So, what defines your worth? Is it money, love, or pride? For twin brothers P and K, PK for short, it's fortune, a mansion each, over $1 million for Viva. It's a dignity for her fiancé John. It's a tempting job offer, but for the formidable Mr. Adam, it's something far more extravagant. Luxurious world cruise with none other than Viva, his son's love interest by his side, Akwawe. As fortunes clash and loyalties are tested, this high-stakes drama unravels ambitions in a battle where the ultimate prize isn't wealth, but the power to choose your own destiny. The X Factor will run on the following dates, 4th, 5th, 6th, 11th, 12th, and 13th of April. Showtimes: Friday 7 p.m. 1 show only. Saturdays 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. 2 shows only. Sundays 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 8 p.m. 3 shows. Rates 300 Ghana cedis, and you can get tickets at regular outlets. VACOBA short code *365 *535# or at rovermanproductions.com. For further inquiries, patrons can contact 0596 921960 or send a WhatsApp message to 0501 55 46030. Sponsors Koba, Gino Tomato Mix, Tilly's Tea, and OCM Cereals. Communications partner M Notify and Logistic Movers. Buy your tickets for X Factor now. Roverman Productions, be the difference.
You know, Ekia finished senior high school with very big dreams. She wanted to study at a top global university, but her parents didn't have the funds to make her dream of studying abroad a reality. But she didn't give up, like the children in Nanori. They didn't give up. She kept searching for opportunities. And that's when she discovered the Pathway program by ALX, and all her worries were finally put to rest. Now, Pathway is connecting senior high school graduates to top global universities, and they are providing scholarships, mentorship, and application support to make studying abroad a reality. And that's just the beginning. Pathway also helps build essential skills, critical thinking, problem solving, and tech know-how, and they prepare senior high school graduates to succeed in a rapidly changing world. Pathway by ALX is not just a program, it's a key that opens doors to a new future. So if you're looking for opportunities to study abroad, if you're looking for opportunities for scholarships, if you're looking for opportunities to build your capacity in essential skills, critical thinking, all those things, just sign up at alxafrica.com or email them ghana@alxafrica.com. You can also call them on 053-198-3991. ALX do hard things.
When we return after these messages, Emmy Beth Akukwanson will be joining us here on the Super Morning Show. We'll be right back.
Electroland Ramadan promotion is here. Get unbeatable deals on top brands Samsung, TCL, Media, and Nasco. Get Nasco 166-liter top mount freezer at 3,999 Ghana cedis plus a free flask. Nasco tabletop freezer starting from 1,999 Ghana cedis plus a free flask. Nasco chest freezer at 3,899 Ghana cedis plus free Nasco deep fryer. Get our Media 198-liter chest freezer at a whooping discount from 5,249 Ghana cedis to 3,999 Ghana cedis. For 4,499 Ghana cedis, you can get a TCL bottom mount fridge plus free Nasco meat grinder. Get our Samsung top load washing machine at 6,499 Ghana cedis plus free Nasco deep fryer. Rush to our showrooms and authorized dealers across Ghana. Call 0503-159-739 for inquiries. Electroland, home of affordable luxury appliances and electronics.
Do you want to study abroad? I present to you Astolinks International. They give professional advice on study visas to the USA, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, and other European nations. They also advise on visa applications, general travel, and other immigration services. Call them on 0537 152 118 or visit them at 4A Pawpaw Street in East Legon. For more information, check out astolinks.net. Astolinks, pathway for success.
Hello, I am Teacher Jane. Are you Eric's mom?
Yes.
Well, today in class, he kept challenging me about a certain point for more than 5 minutes.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry, Mommy. I love his confidence. Our world needs more people who can speak up. So well done.
Oh, thank you. Confident, curious kids will change our world. Nido is specially formulated with iron, vitamin C, and A. Nido, your love, their future. This advert is FDA approved.
Building or renovating? Look no further. At Interface Limited, we have everything you need to create stunning spaces.
Transform your interiors with our top quality plasterboards, acoustic ceilings, and cement boards.
Step into style with our exquisite laminate and engineered floors. And for your data centers, durable raised access floors.
Elevate your outdoor spaces with our WPC decking and fencing.
Protect your home with our beautiful and reliable roof shingles, insulation, canopies, and PVC fascia boards.
Add a touch of elegance with our beautiful POP cornices and roses.
Quality, affordability, and style all in one place. Building a better Ghana, one space at a time. Visit www.interfacelimited.net or call 0274 999 999. Welcome to Spintex Plaza, where living and working blend seamlessly.
Spintex Plaza, the place to be. Furnished apartments feel so free.
Imagine coming home to a luxurious furnished apartment with everything you need.
Rooftop pool, swim under the sky. Rooftop bar where the good times fly. Rooftop gym, get fit and strong.
Spintex Plaza, your home, your work, your lifestyle. Come see us today or call us on 0241 327 363. www.spintexplaza.net.
They were sentenced, but their stories were never told.
Amina Bukari Amin. No! Amina, you have to let me go. I don't want to go. Amina, I don't want to go. Please, Amina, you have to. Please, Amina, you are free. You have to. No woman.
Image Bureau, April Communications, and Joy FM, in partnership with the UN Family in Ghana and led by the Joint United Nations Program on HIV and AIDS, present Beyond the Walls, a story of stigma, survival, and the fear of freedom. Set in the Nsawam Female Prison, National Theatre, 29th and 30th March, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day. Tickets selling now at 200 cedis only at www.imagebureauch.com or dial *714*46#. Beyond the Walls, supported by New Plant Car Rentals, Aquaba Mineral Water, and Stamping Bank.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best on Joy 99.7 FM.
Find those extra cups to fill. They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil. You date a girl and find out later she smells like a percolator. Her perfume was made right on the grill. They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil. No tea, or tomato juice. You see, no potato juice. All the farmers in Africa say, hey, hey. A politician's daughter was accused of drinking water and was fined a great big $50 bill. They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil. A whole lot of coffee.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best on Joy 99.7 FM.
They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil. No tea, or tomato juice. Lucy, no potato juice. All the farmers in Africa say, hey, hey. And when their ham and eggs need savor, coffee ketchup gives them.
Well, I'm sure we can find that coffee right here in Ghana, Lake Libby. The last time I was returning from Hohoe. I don't know whether I'd lost my way and I passed through Lake Libby. Good morning, Emmy Beth Akukwanson.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing really well.
You brought us lots of coffee?
Indeed.
Okay, I'm not really a fan of coffee, but because I've had good... Look, file your VAT, NHIL Get Fund Levy and CST returns early and avoid payment of penalties. For VAT, NHIL Get Fund Levy, the penalty is 500 Ghana cedis and a further penalty of 10 Ghana cedis for each day the return is not submitted. For CST operators, late filing of returns attracts a pecuniary penalty of 2,000 cedis and a further penalty of 500 cedis for each day the return is not submitted. Remember to submit the February 2025 returns not later than Friday, the 28th of March 2025, which is the last working day of the month, and avoid paying penalties. Kindly get in contact with us by email on info@gra.gov.gh or by WhatsApp on 055-299-0000 or 0200-631-664 or call toll free 0800-900-110, signed by the Commissioner General.
And if you are looking for an opportunity to study your dream course abroad, if you are a university graduate, polytechnic graduate, nursing, midwifery, college of education, senior high school graduate, and you want to do more for yourself and study abroad, you can have opportunities in Australia, Canada, UK, US, Ireland, New Zealand, and many more. Talk to Asto Links. They are linking you up to great institutions in these countries, and you can also get up to 4 years for a post-study working visa, which Astolinks can help you to get. So,
retreat. Look no further. Volta Hotel in Dodi World, Akosombo, offers a fantastic vacation destination for people seeking relaxation, comfort, and a break from the bustling life in the city. Join us this Saturday and every Saturday as we celebrate World Water Day in a unique style and learn how to preserve water in your little corner. At Dodi World, we have curated an exclusive lineup of festive programs and packages for you and your loved ones to enjoy, such as family packages, buffet, lunch with live band. DJ X-Ray will love that. And evening happy hour with live band. Also, DJ X-Ray. Swimming, tennis, and nightclub. Make this Easter holiday a memorable one as MV Dodi Prince Book and X on Volta Hotel /Dodi World Ghana for all program lineup. You know, Kojo, when you get to Volta, I like the rooms that get you to see the dam. Yeah, you know.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, very, very beautiful. Then from there you can, get to the farm and enjoy other things. Well, that's where I eat my wakpale and wagashi and everything.
Hey, Winston, you like to chill. Well, we're talking to Emmy shortly. And later this morning, we also talk to executives of MTN here on the Super Morning Show. But, the Cerelac tin, no? The one that's meant for children but adults eat. No? Cerelac is giving you more goodness with the same great Cerelac you love now in a convenient 300-gram pouch for easy refilling of your Cerelac tin. Get the new 300-gram Cerelac wheat pouch today to refill, save, and smile. It's more goodness, less cost. Cerelac, care for them, count on us. And this advert is FDA approved.
Great. So it means we can talk business made in Ghana, Kojo.
Yes, last week we were in the Volta. We had about 3 buses in the Volta, and they passed close to Leklebi to Amejofe. And I was like, look, let's talk to Emmy. She's doing a lot in the Volta, and you've been investing in the coffee industry and in the Volta region for quite some time now. Tell me about Kawamoka.
So the next time you pass through Kawamoka, one of the things you'll see is a cafe that has been set up by the farmers.
Okay.
So they've imbibed, the coffee culture so much that they on their own have initiated a cafe to serve their own coffee to passers-by, to tourists, and to their own people in the community.
Nice.
And that's one of the things Kawamoka has done to support the Leklebi community. So Kawamoka is a coffee company, fully Ghanaian, female-owned. We've been in operation for 10 years. This is actually our 10th year. We started as cafes and then branched into the manufacturing because we realized a lot of people were asking, doesn't Ghana have coffee? A lot of people didn't know that Ghana had coffee, so we thought it was important that there should be representation of Ghana coffee on the market. And that's what led us to Leklebi, where we discovered that the community had been growing coffee for many, many years, since the 1930s. It was something that a lot of people were involved in and were growing and selling their coffee. In the 1980s, the market changed in that it was liberalized, so they couldn't find a market for it, and cocoa took over, and therefore the production of coffee went down. And as they will tell you, since we got involved in the community, there's been a rejuvenation. They've started growing more coffee farms. They're interested in growing better quality coffee. They're interested in growing volumes. We have the youth involved in various aspects of the value chain. And it's been a whole journey where we've seen the impact that coffee can make on lives, particularly of the women that we work with.
Is Leklebi the only place you grow coffee in Ghana?
No. Interestingly, pretty much everywhere that grows cocoa can grow coffee.
Okay.
So that whole area has potential for coffee. But because cocoa is our main crop, you'll find that dominating. But over time, especially due to climate changes and demand for coffee, we're finding that more coffee is being grown in Ghana. In fact, the government had a project to increase production to 100,000 tons, which would make us one of the top 10 producers of Robusta in Africa. So there's a lot of potential for creating jobs, for creating impact through coffee grown right here in Ghana.
Wow. So we can grow coffee wherever we grow cocoa. So eastern region, western region, Volta, Ashanti, all these regions can sustainably grow coffee.
Correct.
How difficult is it to grow coffee compared to the other crops? Because I see people doing coconuts, cocoa, this, that.
We're blessed with the type of coffee we grow here. So it's Robusta, and Robusta is very hardy. It's also relatively easy to maintain. So you basically plant it. You just need to do a bit of weeding. Make sure we depend mostly on rainfall, which can be a problem in years where there's low rainfall. But you plant it, do a bit of weeding, make sure that your farm doesn't get burnt. There are no animals eating and destroying, and you can pretty much grow coffee in 3 years. You can get about a ton of coffee from an acre. So, and that's a ton right now is about $5,000. So it is productive work.
Wow, a ton is $5,000.
Yes.
So if you are getting a ton of coffee per acre, let's say the exchange rates by tomorrow will be at 10 Ghana cedis. You are going to see some $50,000 per acre.
Cool chop.
That's just the raw coffee.
Yes, correct.
And then you process, add value, and you get a lot more value from this.
Correct.
Is Ghana coffee the same quality as the coffee we get from the known coffee countries like Kenya, Ethiopia, and the Eastern African countries?
I'm very excited to say that Ghana coffee can compete globally. I've had the privilege of sitting in rooms where we have coffee experts, tasting coffee, sampling our coffee. It's called cupping. And the Ghana coffee we've sent has scored 80 plus, which is what is called specialty, which is, the type of coffee that is liked. So it is our flavor profile or how the coffee tastes is rich chocolate. Okay. So it takes some of the flavors from the soil, from the terroir, just like chocolate. So it has that rich chocolate taste. It has a hint of hazelnut and a bit of spice. So especially when it is processed properly, and that has been the biggest challenge, just having that incentive to make sure that we're processing well in volumes. You can have the best coffee coming from Ghana that can compete.
You just mentioned your biggest challenge, processing. Take me through the challenges. How are you dealing with them? What structures do we have in place to help, or should we put in place to help the coffee industry grow and add to our GDP?
Okay. So from a farming perspective, one of the problems is that the farms are small, especially in the Volta region. They tend to be an acre, half an acre. Productivity is low. So whereas you should be getting 15 bags from an acre, some people get 5 bags. So one of our interventions is to educate on good agricultural practices. We've done this in partnership with GIZ, for example, where we're also doing our organic certification. We've done this in partnership with the International Trade Center, just trying to teach them ways in which they can have better agricultural practices to get better yields. So that's one. It's also the lack of mechanization. So a lot of the things that are done are manual, from picking, from weeding. We were at the KIC where we saw these fancy, weeding technology. It's all very manual. So that also becomes a problem. And then, of course, the heavy reliability on rainfall rather than irrigation. We have a beautiful fall in Lake Lebi, which is a flabo, which feeds the coffee farms. But again, it's still highly reliant on rainfall. So we're also seeing some farmers taking the initiative to irrigate their farms using very innovative ways. There's one hose where they put holes in it. Exactly. And then it's linked to the stream, and they're using that for irrigation. So you can see that they are highly motivated because they can see the benefits that are coming from growing coffee.
Winston, she's talking about our problems. So.
Yes, that's why I'm listening. Continue.
On the other end, we're also trying to encourage Ghanaians to drink more Ghanaian coffee. So we had Winston saying he doesn't drink coffee. It's fine. There's a growing niche of people that drink coffee. But also, as we're looking at the influx of, foreign cafes particularly, there needs to be an initiative where they have at least some representation of Ghana coffee in our hotels. One of the things that you get from coffee drinkers is that they go to some hotels, especially as you leave the capital, and they don't have, the Ghana coffee to drink. So this, especially with policy, could be very helpful in raising the consumption of coffee in Ghana, and that has a direct implication on jobs. It has a direct implication on the farmers' livelihood. So if there was one thing that I would ask would be changed, that would be it. A policy that would make sure that every cafe in Ghana at least has a grinder dedicated to Ghana coffee.
You've brought us some of your products. I can see Kawamoka coffee roasters, 100% specialty Robusta, grown and roasted in Ghana. This is Leklebi, the medium roast ground. What different products, SKUs do you have? What mixes of the coffee do you have?
So we have Leklebi, which is our premium and our favorite, because there we work with the community. We have projects with our women. We do a lot of training and giving back to the community. So our premium brand is Leklebi. We also run farm tours in Leklebi where you can get to see the coffee farms. You can engage with the women. If you like dancing, you can do bobobo. If you like hiking, you can hike up to Aflabo. It's quite popular. Our tour, and we've had some very rave reviews for people who've braved it. Then we also have Volta. So our Volta brand, outside of Leklebi, as we've grown, we've had to also expand our cachets for purchasing. So across the Volta, there are so many places that also have really good quality coffee, and so we also purchase from some of those enclaves, and that is what you have in Volta, also processed very well. And then finally, we're fans of Ghana and also showing to the world some of the uniqueness of West Africa, of Ghana. So we have Prekese flavored coffee, we have ginger flavored coffee, we have dawa dawa flavored coffee, we have moringa, and these are things that you find in Ghana.
So you are putting all the flavors of Ghana,
correct,
in your brands.
Yes.
So people can have Prekese,
yes,
ginger.
Did you bring the Prekese one?
Yeah, this is the Prekese one.
Let me see.
Oh, finally, we've got something that interests you.
Yeah, I think yes.
There was a deputy minister who went to the appointment committee and he was asked to mention the scientific name of Prekese. You remember that?
Yes, yes. I don't know.
Tetraplural tetraptera.
I don't know what scientific names
I done fruits.
I like this one.
The uses and the advantages of Prekese, and he laid it out nicely.
Exactly.
So Prekese coffee.
High blood pressure, yes. So there are also health benefits associated with these infusions. So you are able to get both the benefits of coffee, which is also rich in antioxidants. It's a very good product. A lot of people have some misconceptions about coffee and what it does, but it's a highly nutritious drink, and it's a great substitute, especially for some of the sugary drinks that we have. It gives you energy. Some say it even makes you live longer if you're consistent in drinking your coffee. So there are a lot of benefits for coffee, and we hope to see more Ghanaians drinking Ghana coffee, even as it gets more affordable for Ghanaians in Ghana, since we are producing.
So if there are people who make gift packs, conferences, all those things, we can include all these things and help to spread the message of Ghana coffee to the world. How do people get in touch with Kawamoka? How do people get to buy Kawamoka coffee?
In this digital age, we're online, so you could go to our website on www.kawamoka.com. That's KAWAMOKA.com. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. What's the other one? X.
Yes.
And you can also reach us on our lines on 054-1711-723. So we're very available. You could also find us in retail outlets. So we're in Migmart.
The Made in Ghana Mart.
The Made in Ghana Mart is one of our favorite outlets because they support Made in Ghana, and everything there has been produced in Ghana. They have a location in Laboni and in East Legon. It's also Ghanaian owned, second generation. So it's a business we're very proud of. We're also in Malcolm's, some select Malcolm's. We're in Palace, we're in Fairway. We're widely available. So if you look for us, you'll find us.
Thank you so much, Emmy, for joining us this morning to tell us the story of Kawamoka and the story of Ghana coffee. I would urge all listeners to patronize Ghanaian goods. Use your purchase power to lift up our businesses so we get the right returns for the economy. Thank you so much We'll be drinking more coffee these days.
Yes. We'll drink more.
Especially the precursor.
Yes, the precursor one. Because of the
one.
blood pressure. You know.
Yeah, and the ginger one.
Yeah, ginger too not bad. But I like the precursor one.
And the dawa coffee.
Precursor.
You have the dawa jollof and then you...
Precursors.
You pair it with the coffee.
I see. Anyway, thank you very much, Amy Bertha Kukwanson, for joining us this morning. We'll try it, and we like to promote Ghana. After all, we've talked about ownership of the Ghanaian economy by Ghanaians, not by foreigners. So we're happy to be having this conversation. We'll try it, and we'll make sure that you go out there globally and we'll tax your global income. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
Here on the Super Morning Show. Stay with us when we return. We'll be joined by the Women Network of MTN.
Way down among Brazilians, coffee beans grow by the billions, so they've got to find those extra cups to fill. They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil. You date a girl and find out later she smells like a percolator. Her perfume was made right on the grill. They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil.
Come on. Good boy. Honey, look, he's crawling. Wow. Good job. The new Cerelac Wheat and Maize has the combined goodness of wheat and maize grains fortified with iron, vitamins, and minerals also found in fruits and vegetables. To prepare the new Cerelac Wheat and Maize, just add milk. Enjoy your little one's big moments at less cost. Cerelac, care for them, count on us. This advert is FDA approved.
Saswabo, Sasso, Kume tonton prepo. Sasso, Missy Kume tonton prepo. Edrana Twami never say, yeah, how can see our name and baby? Mina me call me Sasso spray. Every mosquito standing run away. Come on, tonton preko. Sasso, me say come on, tonton preko. Come on, tonton preko. Sasso, come tonton preko. Nani shamne die, demo stronko.
This advert is FDA approved.
As a busy professional, I struggled with back and neck strain from long hours at my desk. To improve my focus, productivity, and well-being, I sought expert advice from the CEO of Expert Office Furnish.
After being in the furniture business for 25 years, I can tell you two things that causes back pain in the workspace: bad sitting posture and not sitting on a good chair. I recommend to you the Genevia Beeper chair, the chair that helps you to sit right. When you don't sit right, it beeps for you to be able to sit right. The next will be the Enjoy chair. It takes every body shape and size. Buy a chair that will support your back and give you that comfort to be able to deliver on your job.
Expert Office Furnish offers molding furniture for comfort, productivity, and style. From seating to customized solutions, plus interior decoration services, they've got it all. Find them off the Atomic Hills Estate Road in Ashonman or call 0571 386602 on Facebook and Instagram at Expert Office Furnish.
Gold Coast Leadership Conversations, Building Leaders for the Nations. The University of Gold Coast presents Ghana's premier leadership series, bringing together top executives, policymakers, and diplomats for 2 transformative sessions this March at Gold Coast Hall, University of Gold Coast, formerly Accra Business School, Spintex Road, Accra. On Saturday, March 22nd, Sir Sam Jonah, former CEO of Anglo Gold Ashanti, will share strategies for corporate governance and sustainable business growth, equipping leaders with the tools to drive resilience and ethical leadership. Then, on Saturday, March 29th, the Honorable Shirley Ayokobotri, Secretary General of the Commonwealth, will explore how international partnerships can accelerate Ghana's economic development. This event is free and provides a unique opportunity to engage with industry pioneers, connect with peers, and gain real-world solutions to today's leadership challenges. Seats are limited. Register now at www.ugc.edu.gh/event. or contact Charles Can at 026-050-0444. Media partners are Joy News, Joy 99.7 FM, Love FM, Adum 106.3 FM, Inshira FM, Joy Prime, Joy Online, Adum TV, Hits FM, and Asempa 94.7 FM. Gold Coast Leadership Conversations, March 2025, Building Leaders for the Nations.
They were sentenced, but their stories were never told.
Amina Bukari Amin. No! Amina, you have to let me go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go, please. Amina, you have to. Please, you are free. You have to.
Image Bureau, April Communications, and Joy FM, in partnership with the UN Family in Ghana and led by the Joint United Nations Program on HIV and AIDS, present Beyond the Walls, a story of stigma, survival, and the fear of freedom. Set in the Nsawam Female Prison, National Theatre, 29th and 30th March, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day. Tickets selling now at 200 cedis only at www.imagebureaugh.com or dial star 714*46#. Beyond the Walls, supported by New Plants Car Rentals, Aquaba Mineral Water, and Standard Bank.
Coffee in your cup. Enjoy on the set. The Super.
And so here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. So, I told you that the Yellow Ladies Network was going to be joining us here on the Super Morning Show because, look, we all know that March is ending in a few days. It's what? Today is the 26th of March. It means we have just some 5 days to go. And everyone is, rounding up their women's activities. And MTN Ghana, as part of the Women's Month celebrations, launched its Women's Network, Yellow Ladies Network. I'm told yesterday there was a big splash of pink and purple and highly inspired women speakers at the MTN house. So this morning, we're going to be finding out what the Women's Network is all about and how this will lead to a better working environment that eventually impacts the services we all enjoy. I mean, for many of us, our concern is the services we enjoy. Everything else we do should benefit us by way of services. This morning, I'm joined by Adjoa Afi, who is Chief Officer, Corporate Services and Sustainability Office, MTN, and Antoinette Kofi, the CFO of MTN. Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And congratulations on your launch. Before we get into how everything went, it'll be important to have an understanding of what the Yellow Ladies Network is all about, the reason behind setting it up, what really inspired the creation of such a network.
Okay, I'll take that. So, in organizations, women face peculiar challenges. Well, our cultural setup is such that women encounter peculiar challenges that sometimes prevents them from going up the leadership chain. And so there tends to be a need to focus on interventions that create an inclusive environment that allows women to grow. And at MTN, we've had a lot of initiatives over the years targeted at specific groups of people. What Yellow Ladies Network seeks to do is to cover all women and is to create a forum where women can come together, we can support each other, we can empower, we can inspire, we can guide and coach our women in a way that promotes career development, in a hope that we get more women in senior leadership and also to have a balanced gender distribution across all levels and not just at junior levels.
Great.
And listen, just to add that, maybe I'll take a step back. When you look at our strategy, a key component of that is ESG at the core. And ESG is environmental, social, and governance. And one of the key tenets of our social pillar is promoting generational equality, and that comes back to the women. So our target is to have 50% gender parity within the business by 2030, and that's what we are working towards. And that very much aligns with the Affirmative Action Act that it was passed last year. So it's all, a continuation of the things that we are doing, trying to embed ESG within our business and making sure that we do not leave anybody behind. Everybody, we talk about everybody deserving the benefits in digital terms of a modern connected life. It's all included in that.
Great. So you're making sure you don't leave anybody behind. But
Absolutely.
I'm interested in how, the program went yesterday. I mean, the launch, how it went yesterday. So tell us a bit about the launch and some of the speakers, and briefly what transpired at the launch.
It was electrifying, to say the least. We had some great speakers. We had Taka Awori, who's the CEO for Busara Africa. We had Audrey Abaka, who's in charge of SME and partnerships at Absa Bank. We had Jigbodi Dosu, the CEO for DCG Consulting. We had Janet Sinkwa Mills, who's the chairperson of the Executive Women Network. We had Joyce Sikachum, who's she's the CEO of Self Search and a coach. And we had Joyce Bawa Mokhtari, the presidential advisor, as our guest, as our special guest. And all these women came to speak on the pillars. They came to encourage women to stand up, to show up, to speak up, and to own our destinies. And also to elevate ourselves, to make a conscious effort to actually elevate what we do. And a big part of the whole journey is us taking ownership of our destinies. A lot of the time, we may think that it's on somebody else has to take the steps to get us to get to the senior level, or to get us to grow personally and professionally. But it's all about, you are in the driving seat. So how do you drive yourself to the destination you want?
So, tell me how this whole network is going to help women at MTN grow personally and professionally.
Well, I think this is a great network that helps with peer-to-peer engagement, because Antoinette talked about the programs that we have already, and this is spearheaded by HR. And so when you have it in a formal setting, it's different, or the way women engage with it is different. But here we are talking about women being there for women within the organization, and women from all walks of life. And so it's not going to be a hierarchical system where you're saying, yes, madam, and all that. It's about, we have common issues, whether you're an executive or you are down, whatever you are, we have the same problems. How can we deal with it? Women have psychosocial problems, so we need to talk about whether it's a small business that you need to talk about, whether it is career mobility that you want to talk about, whatever it is, creating that safe space for you to be able to progress, because sometimes the barriers are different for people. So the barriers may be education, the barriers may be physical, the barriers may be psychological, there are different barriers affecting different people. So we think that with this kind of network, taking away the organization, the organization is still there, but at least you have people who, like-minded people with similar problems, talking about these problems and creating the programs themselves. So it's about what we need and putting those things at the forefront. And we think that is what is going to get women, the women of MTN out to be able to deal with their problems and their issues, and also applaud our achievements together.
Yeah.
Now, for many of us who are listening, we're asking ourselves, okay, so you've come together, you formed a network, but what's the benefit to your customers? How does this benefit us?
All right. Research has shown that organizations that have more diverse teams generally produce better performance, better profitability, etc. And I guess it's a factor of more diverse views around the table. You have a wider range of perspectives and ideas that come, and a different approaches to solving problems. And this generally tends to lead to better outcomes for everyone. And so we believe that by empowering our women, by helping each other, supporting each other through the different challenges, people will be in a better state of mind, better space, and if the women grow and we contribute more effectively at the table, MTN would definitely be a better company, and we will provide better services to our customers and better returns to our shareholders.
And to add to that, Winston, I think our customers are made up of different demographics, and so if you have to speak to each and every one of them, even the way we come up with our products. And so if you have different people sitting at the table, women will look at the products differently in terms of how we develop and design those products, because we are women and we know what we are looking for, what we are targeting, and very soon we'll be launching a product, Jumapa, for women, and we will talk about that later, but just to give you a taste of what is coming, and it's all because we are being intentional and inclusive, and so we are able to think differently and understand the market and the segments that we are dealing with better to be able to develop our products.
Great. So let's find out, some of the activities that you're going to be engaging in as Yellow Women's Network.
Okay, so some of the activities we're going to be engaging with includes we're going to set up coaching circles. We're going to have mentoring circles, and these are about bringing together groups of women to mentor them on specific issues that they can relate to, and to coach them on how to deal with specific challenges. I just said earlier, our challenges are the same. Throughout history, you would find that the challenges we face are the same. We are different, so we have different approaches to dealing with these challenges. But listening to those who have walked the path, share their stories and their journeys with you, and how they've been able to overcome some of these barriers and challenges and grow in spite of that, can actually encourage you to do that. And also, we will be coaching people with tools that help them to actually go up the ladder, should they want, both professionally and personally, and how to balance, to attain that all elusive work-life balance, which is most important for women. In addition to that, we will have a lot of networking sessions with female role models in business, in the industry, across the nation, and impart knowledge. We would also, I just spoke about Ejumapa, we would also do a lot of community engagement where we go out and share our learnings with the ladies, with the women in our communities, and help them to structure their businesses better. Our aim is not just to make MTN a better place. We want to make our industry and our nation a greater country.
I'm going to put you on the spot because you've talked about making our nation a better place. This morning we've been talking about the Nanori School, where children are crowded in one classroom. And when it rains, there's even fear of the building collapsing. Meanwhile, there's a 6-unit classroom block, started 12 years ago, in fact 13 years ago, roofed, plastered like we would say, but no floors, no windows, and still cannot be used. I'm sure that's something that will be of concern to you. And as you're here, as ladies, you will solve their problem for them.
I'm sure Ajua would have something. She's passionate about these.
Good. I mean, just to say that the MTN Foundation has been in this business for a long time, as you know, and focus on education, health, and economic empowerment. And these are the kinds of projects that we look at. We look at projects that have an impact on the community, and education is a key aspect of that. So we have our scholarships, we have our digital skills training, and we have, issues or dealing with issues that speak to community needs. So these are, if it comes to our attention, it's something that we can look into. We'll see if there's any support we can provide. We will provide it. But yeah.
Great. We'll have to do that. But anything you want to say finally before we wrap it all up, starting off with you, Antoinette?
I'd just like to say that it's a great journey we've embarked on. I've had a similar journey for my previous employers, and I know that once we empower women, we empower nations, and nations become better. So I'd like to encourage all organizations to take up this challenge, to empower their women, to improve gender diversity in their and inclusion in the organizations, and I'm sure we will all be better for it.
Great. Ajua?
Yes, Winston, I think what I'll say is that this is not a journey that anybody can take on their own. This is really something that requires us to come together, and we are celebrating the International Women's Month, and thankfully yesterday we had women's groups from other sister organizations joining us, and that is the spirit in which we want to build this network, that it's not only something that stays within, but it's a network that also connects with other networks, because when we're talking about gender parity, it's not an MTN issue, it's everybody's issue, and it's a national and a global issue. So how do we make sure that this becomes a platform for connecting women across the country, across industries, so that we are able to reach the targets that have been set for gender equality, parity.
Thank you so much, Ajari Afi, who is Chief Corporate Services and Sustainability Officer, MTN, and Antoinette Kofi, CFO, MTN, on the launch of the Yellow Ladies Network. Wish you all the best. We'll be monitoring your progress.
Thank you.
And I'll send you a proposal. Stay with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Coffee in your cup. Enjoy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best. On Joy 99.7.
It's time to walk the tour. As part of Ghana Month, Joy FM presents the Accra High Street Walking Tour. This Saturday, we converge at the Bukom Boxing Arena at 6 a.m. and be conveyed by buses to the Osu Christianborg Castle, where we'll begin the tour with melodious brass band music through to the Nationalism Park, Black Star Square, Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, Usher Fort, the Naiway, Bukom Square, James Fort, the Lighthouse, and end up at the Bukom Boxing Arena with a special Gakenke party to bask in the rich cultural delicacy of the Ga people. We will explore the historical significance of these sites while networking and having fun conversations along the way. The Accra High Street Walking Tour is absolutely free. However, you must register by simply texting your name to our WhatsApp number 055-1111-997 and hashtag Walking Tour. Don't forget to carry some cash on you for Kinky, which will be sold at the regular 5 CDs for a ball. Remember to be at the Bukom Boxing Arena this Saturday at 6 a.m. prompt.
Ghana Month on Joy is brought to you by Woodine. Buy 3 or 4 ready-to-wear clothes or 18 yards of fabrics and get free fabrics. Vibe Ghana, Vibe Woodine. Serene Insurance, the new face of insurance. The Kumfi Fruits and Juices, nature's best healthy juice, with support from Asiabo Security.
The Accra High Street Walking Tour. Walk the tour.
Coffee in your cup. Enjoy.
Boche will be speaking on global leadership in action, harnessing Commonwealth Partnership for Economic Growth. Admission is free. For registration, go to ugc.edu.gh/event or call 0260 500 444.
And Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, your number one supplier of quality office essentials, equipment and furniture at affordable prices, has introduced an online store for your shopping convenience. This means you can now shop by simply logging on to kingdomstoreonline.com without physically coming to any of their branches, and it's hassle-free. They also arrange deliveries to your homes and offices within a reasonable time. You can also pay via Momo, and they offer free delivery within Accra and Tema. Terms and conditions, however, apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability is their home.
Kojo, I want somebody to win something. Let me see if I have time. I'm going to get someone to sing the national anthem. But this weekend, on the 29th of March, there is the much anticipated Accra High Street walking tour by your superstation, Joy 99.7 FM. You'll be amazed at the culture and history that the Accra High Street holds. So this Saturday will converge at the Trust Sports Emporium, also known as the Bukum Boxing Arena, by 6 a.m. and be conveyed by buses to the Osu Christian Board Castle, where we'll begin the tour with melodious brass band music through to the Nationalism Park, Blast Star Square, Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, Usher Fort, the Naiwe, Bukum Square, James Fort, the Lighthouse, and end up the Bukum Boxing Arena with a special Gakinke party to bask in the rich cultural delicacy of the Gan people. We'll explore the historical significance of these sites while networking and having fun conversations along the way. The Accra High Street walking tour is absolutely free. However, you must register by simply texting your name to our WhatsApp number 055 11111997. Use the hashtag walking tour. Don't forget to carry some cash on you for the kinky, which will still be sold at the regular 5 Ghana cedis for a ball. Remember to be at the Bukum Boxing Arena this Saturday at 6 a.m. prompt. The Accra High Street walking tour, walk the tour. Ghana Month on Joy is brought to you by Woodin. Buy 3 or 4 ready-to-wear clothes or 18 yards of fabric and get free fabrics. Vibe Ghana, Vibe Woodin. Serene Insurance, the new face of insurance. Kumfi Fruits and Juices, nature's best healthy juice, and supported by Suavot Security and the Trust Sports Emporium. I think we'll have to give these our rewards tomorrow. Tomorrow. Yes, we'll do it during the Sports Center. So thank you very much for joining us here on the Super Morning Show. It's some 3 minutes to 10. It means that we'd have to make way for the news at 10, and then the Queen of the Airwaves, Doreen Ando, with a Cosmopolitan.
And there are lots of big stories. We have updates for you on My Joy Online. You should also tune in to all our news bulletins to have the updates on the petition on the Chief Justice, the ECG matters, and a whole lot more coming up during the day here on 99.7 FM. My name is Kojo Akoto Boating.
Mine is Winston Amwa.